what we're talking about in this is that what makes the body swell. So remember, either it's good fats or bad fats. So the only way it's going to be a bad fat is if you cook it wrong. Now there are things about our oceans. There are things about how we treat our cows, and there are all those things that are not good for us to be eating because what we do as man to the cow, which is really what's driving a lot of this, is because the chemicals that are in our cows and then how they treat it. Plus, they take away. I had 3 men in my practice in 14 years, and they've all confirmed it in 3 different times in my life that work at a dairy farm, and they actually do separate out the milk and put it back together. Even whole milk is not like it used to be. Like every single town in the world should have its own cow farm thing, like way back in the day. Remember on the front porch, you got your milk delivered and the cream was at top and it went bad in 3 days? Like every single town should have that. Because if we had really healthy cows that were eating correctly with no hormones and pesticides and all that other stuff, and we were drinking it, I don't think dairy, we would not have driven faster with dairy to this. Because if you go to Europe and you're dairy intolerant, you can have their dairy. And it's because they separate it out and it just shifts the chemical. We're just not used to that. I mean, and it creates mucus, and there are hormones that are messing up our growth hormones, and it's all been proven. So it's not really good. But again, that's not because God did it. It's because man did that. So, they did do a study. They took a live baby moo cow, true live baby cow, and instead of feeding its mom's udder milk from his mom or her mom directly, they took our carton milk that we drink and consume, put it in a thing and let the baby drink it, and guess what happened to that baby cow? It died. So it didn't feel good, bad, PMS or malaise or headache or chronic fatigue, and just didn't feel good. It died. It was not enough to sustain a cow's life. So why are we consuming it? We need to go back to old-fashioned ways. But if you were on the diet, you can do it anyway. But people that get better, and they climb and they do whatever, and they go back to eating in moderation. It is sad that some of those people that could have went back to doing dairy can't because of the chemicals in our milk. Some people can. I can never. I will never, ever, ever, never be able to consume dairy. But in Europe, I cheated on gluten and on dairy, and I felt fine. I have Dr. Leader. She's 10,000 times more unhealthy than I am. She was completely fine in Europe.
Why gluten? Why was the gluten?
Because a lot of the gluten impurities is how we process our flours. There's tons of books I can have you read. If you read the one book, our soils and how they process it, and it's altered, it's mutated, and then the mutation is what we really get allergic to. And so now we call that gluten. It's a protein in certain flours, and that makes the body swell. We're already kind of on it. We're almost done with that, so I can just switch real quick. Beware canola oil. Canola oil is a scam. You should never consume olive oil, canola oil. You want to read this, and you'll be disgusted and you'll throw it away. This is gluten. When you have an anaphylactic shock to something, that means you have a true allergy. Okay? And that's why it's called an allergy. If you just have a bad reaction to it, it's called an intolerance. So that's why it says intolerant versus tolerant. Anything you have an anaphylactic shock on, obviously you don't eat, because it truly is a true allergy. Okay? What we're trying to heal in people are not true allergies. What we're trying to heal on people are intolerances that become so drastic that it really starts attacking the body. So what we want to do is understand the two differences. The intolerance means you want to cross this out and you don't want to be consuming those flours on this diet. Even if you're not, it's like celiac disease means a child or an adult who has celiac disease, if they eat the protein, that means they kind of go into an anaphylactic shock. They can do it neurologically. They can have hard neurological symptoms. They can have digestive things. It's different to other people. Some people stop breathing. To other people don't. So a gluten intolerant person is called a celiac disease. And that's not, those people need to be helped and we help them, but that's not why you're on this diet, because I think you're celiac disease, although I think most of us are gluten intolerant. Okay? why we're doing it is one reason only. Is it promoting pro-inflammatories or is it promoting anti-inflammatories?